G'day knife lovers. I've got a beauty here today. It's a Dexter American knife handle. It's reminiscent of the French style cook's knife. Not too damaged. Should be very easy to sharpen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sharpen it. It hasn't been sharpened for a while, so I'm going to take it down with an 80 grit. In other words, 250 grit on the wheel. Then I'm going to finish it off with a 320. In other words, 1000 grit on the wheel. Then I'm going to remove the burr using the honing wheel. Then I'm going to remove the root of the burr using a kangaroo tail hard strop on a block of wood. If that doesn't work, I might even give it a strop on the hanger, and maybe even on the reverse side of the hanger, which is soft. So we'll see how we go. Hang around. I've already measured the angle. I'm going with 32 degrees. Give it a couple of passes on each side because it's brand new to the grind. As normal, I always go tip first. That makes magnificent tips. It's controversial, it's the opposite to what everybody else tells you to do, but I've been doing it for years and it's great. And then just lifting off gently here so I don't go too much into the heel or the finger guard. Already got a burr. Still needs a bit of work at the back. I'll slow down a bit here. And that's plenty. Looks nice and even. Great looking tips. Look at those tips, mate. Fantastic. As the knife gets fatter, the bevel gets bigger. And it gets fat towards the edge, of course, or towards the back. It doesn't really matter that I haven't quite finished there because it's fine all the way to the back. It'll handle all the herb chopping. And a great tip on this side as well. Although I might try and get rid of some of that back on the next grind, which is 320 or 1000 on the wheel. These are diamond plates, easy to find on eBay. That's all they need, maybe a little bit more. Until you can't feel the grains raising that were raised by the 80. You should hear a difference in the sound as well, finer sound. Good burr all the way to the back there. Yep, pretty happy with that. So I'll take this off because it bothers me. I bang my elbow against it. Always use the green on every honing. Chrome oxide starts off at about 8000 grit, but it wears down pretty quick. Always start with the burr to the top, so polish the back of the burr first. Makes it easier to remove. And I'm using the gripping method. And the gripping method is I lay the knife down and I press quite hard, and I find the bevel, because the bevel grips the wheel because there's more surface area and it pulls the wheel forward. That way I know I'm on the bevel, and then I raise the knife just a little bit to be biased towards the apex or the very close edge. Three or four passes per side is usually all that's needed. And I've removed this wheel from here so that I can keep the knife straight without bumping into the wheel. Normally I'd have to go like this to avoid the wheel. And it's important to keep the knife straight while honing, because you want to hone in the same direction as you're grinding, which in this case is perpendicular. If you're on a stone and you're doing this angle, then you should hone at that angle as well. Thanks to Alex at Outdoors 55 for that tip. And yes, that is a minor flex because I've got two Tormeks. I've got Senor El Tormek here and the Burr Buster Honer on this side. I'm fully expecting this knife to glide effortlessly through rolling papers or cigarette papers if you're in Europe or Australia. I test for a burr on my fingernail very lightly. It should feel smooth, smooth as ice. If you feel any bumps at all, it means it needs a little bit more work. And I had a few little bumps there. That should be plenty. Let me check. Smooth. Smooth. Beautiful. Wipe off the wax. The wax carries the abrasive on the bar. Beautiful. Take the clamp off. Now, just to prove that the kangaroo tail does something, I always test before I do the kangaroo stropping just to see where the knife is at. A little bit noisy, a little bit catchy, as you can see there. Doesn't really, and doesn't want to finish. Oh, there you go. A little bit, so, you know, not real flash. But this thing here, fantastic. Just 10 or so strokes is all you need. Pushing quite firmly and biased towards the apex, but not right upright, obviously, because we're trying to remove the root of the burr, that little sticky wire edge that prohibits the final cutting test or sharpness test, and also aids longevity because that wire edge is going to fold down over your knife and cause premature bluntness. And we don't want premature anything, least of all bluntness. I did this to my butcher's knives. I sharpened 3 knives for my butcher, and I asked him the other day, I said, how are the knives going? He says, I'm still on my first knife that you sharpen and it's still sharp. And this is like 4 weeks later now. 4 weeks at a butcher shop, cutting constantly, big steak knife. He says he loves it. He says never had knives that sharp before, ever. And you know what butchers are like. Very strict. Walked into a butcher shop the other month and I said, hey, I want to sharpen your knives. Give me a sample. Give me one to try. And they got all offended. They said, what do you think? We don't know how to sharpen knives, mate. Bugger off. I said, rightio. And I did. I buggered right off. What's wrong with people sometimes? Okay, let's try that. See if there's any improvement. Oh, great entry. Good glidage. Off the edge. That doesn't need anything more. Proves the kangaroo tail strop works. Get your hands on one if you can. I'm trying to sell them. I'm getting an export permit shortly, I hope. I'll be able to get them out to you anywhere in the world. But for now, that knife is finished. Let's do some, just normal magazine paper slicing. Beautiful. Telephone book slicing. Beautiful, so quiet, so good. Dexter, made in the USA. Beautiful rosewood handles. Lovely knife. Hey, thanks for watching. And if you like this sort of thing, hit the like button. Tell YouTube that you like this sort of thing. And subscribe if you want to see some more. And I'll catch you in the next video.